we are here with 4 excellent community managers, like network and everything. And I really hope you will take profit from this, that you will learn not just about communities itself, but how you make the most of it. So we have Max, anybody there in his community here, like 100 Days of NoCode, Claudia from Floxies and also NoCodeOps, and Pierre from NoCode Drinks, that if you know, tonight we are having a party, he's the one organizing that. And Francisco is there from Bed and Mods. And she started at it, and so I think it's good to also listen a little bit of how they are here, right? Like tell a little bit now, Max, how it came up, your community, and how you got to what you are.
Of course. Hey everyone, very good to see you all. So I'm Max. I run Haining School, and it's essentially a space for non-techies to allow how to use tech in a very accessible way. And they call it Haining School because we teach these skills every days. And we essentially started as a Twitter hashtag. So before we kind of did 100 Days of NoCode or 100 Days of AI or whatever, or became Haining School, we were essentially a Twitter hashtag. And that is essentially how our community began. I shared on Twitter in the period of height of lockdown, I'm starting this challenge, 100 Days of NoCode, and basically with the view to see if anyone would join. And that's kind of how the community began. And since then, our community has gone through a community to a hashtag to community to an education platform. So that's kind of the evolution, and hopefully we can chop it up today. No.
Okay, so now let's hear from Claudia, because she didn't do that just once, she did it twice. So like how it comes that, you not just decide to have one, but 2, and then how it grew to, multiply, right?
Yeah, well, hi everyone. My background actually is education, so I used to be a primary school teacher, and then during the pandemic, we all kind of started thinking about our lives and what are we going to do, what do we want to be. And that's similar to Max. I started, just with a message on social media. I wanted to become a designer, UX UI designer. And I was looking for more women to study with me, because it's quite, an industry quite male dominated. And so just from that one single message, I got about 70 replies of women around the world that wanted to study design with me. And without even realizing, that was my first kind of community, Floxies, which I founded back in 2021. Now we're counting over 1,600 women around the globe. And all the work that I've been doing with Floxies, building the community, hosting live streams, and all the great skills that I was transferring from the educational background kind of caught the attention of this company in the US, NoCodeOps. Philip Lakin is the CEO. He reached out to me. He was like, hey, Claudia, we have a newsletter with loads of people, but we want to have a community. Would you like to come and build it for us full time? And so that was my successful transition story from being a teacher into becoming a full-time community manager. So I lead community at NoCodeOps, which is another international community for people working in ops and leveraging the power of no-code tools and automation. And so just like Karla was saying, again, within a year, we reached over, 1,000 members in the community. We host live streams every day. And so, yeah, it's a full, nice ecosystem of community building. And I keep running the 2 communities on all sides. Yeah.
So you just heard 2 educational bases here, but we have much more, right? Like Francisco is really building a community around the product. That is also something that we may be interested in building when we are building our own products, right? We need that. So tell a little bit, Francisco, how is this experience building a community for a product?
So, today I'll be presenting the demo. We are a SaaS. Today is a kind of established company, 6 years running, 1,000 enterprise customers. So they need help. That's the main challenge. And they're looking for knowledge for quick answers. So I would say everyone who is building a SaaS, no matter the size, even if you're running a micro SaaS, you know, like no matter, people need knowledge, people need answers. And having an agent, all day there is expensive. But the knowledge that your own customers can share between them, among them, is invaluable. So the key, of having a customers community, especially for a product or a service, is that you can save lots of money and support costs. Also, when they see other people challenges getting sorted through community answers, they understand, actually people love that, and they stay around. They stick with your problems beyond there. So the other factor is, especially for SaaS, the churn rate, that also goes down because your customers are getting answers faster. Many times you have champions in your community that are just hanging out there, answering like in minutes. You are just like typing and answer them. So that's probably, I would say, the big value of creating customers community, even core SaaS, micro SaaS, or services. We have even clients that are using our product to create client portals for their own services. So I have some system.
That's great. And I have to say, I do believe Pierre is here. And I have to say, one of the times I went to a rooftop, was just there around. There were a guy just alone, not saying anything. I just said, come in. Why? What are you doing here? So he was telling me this story and so on. We exchanged cards, and this guy ended up to be a customer of mine for 10 years. So, I really want to learn a little bit of how NoCode drinks and what was the idea, and if you have seen also a little bit of that, because for me, that's also a place for you to network and to learn more about people.
Yeah. So hi, I'm Pierre. Actually, just a quick question. Who here is here at a NoCode event physically for the first time? Okay, interesting. So I'm Pierre, so I'm a lifelong community builder and entrepreneur. And for about 10 years, I've built a community for future tech startup founders, organizing about 150 events with 2 organizations. And about 3 years ago, I decided to go into the world of NoCode myself and started building apps using Bubble. And I'm now making a full-time income as a Bubble developer. And the least we can say is that in the past 3 years, NoCode has transformed my life, and therefore I decided to use my experience as a community builder to create NoCode Drinks. And NoCode Drinks, what it is it's where NoCoders meet. It's an international meetup series where NoCode enthusiasts can meet in a really relaxed atmosphere. And we organize events every 2 months in cities where we have chapters live, which currently include London, Warsaw. We have Tom here, who's a Warsaw ambassador. Madrid, we have Sonia here as a Madrid ambassador. We also have Barcelona, Toronto, and Lisbon. And it started a year ago with almost to the day. It was 23rd of May, 2023, with an event in London. And from the very start, I wanted to make it an international community. And I had the plan to, I was living in London for almost 9 years. I had the plan to leave London and spend the next year traveling around, using the fact that I'm a no-coder now, I can work from everywhere, deciding to live in France for 3 months, Barcelona for 3 months, Lisbon for 3 months, and now I'm in Berlin, and enjoying going in all those cities to launch myself the chapters, and then build a network of ambassadors that will continue that. So in a year, it's been 25 events. We also have a online community, so we've done 6 online events, 25 events in 8 cities. We now have a network of 8 ambassadors, about 1,000 registrations in total. And the ambition is really to be in every major city in the world, and to be able, so that we can provide with every no-coders a physical space near them where they can make friends and build a network.
Oh, wow. I am waiting for the one in Zurich or Lucerne. That's my favorite.
And we do a lot of great after parties. We've done that several times, and we have tonight at 5 p.m. Make sure you come. We'll have drinks by the canal.
Great. So I want to ask you, Max, we just heard that some people are here for the first time as in a presidential event. So how many people here are just starting with NoCode? 2, 4, 5 people. How many people are experts already in one of tools? Some 2. So I would guess that the rest are intermediary. Max, what do you think how they would find the perfect community for them, in their stage that they are?
Yeah, I think it's just working back from the goal that you're going to have. So, essentially it's like mapping what goals you have when you're coming into this space and learning a skill. So is it you want to become an entrepreneur? Is it you want to just automate away your life? Or is it something else? And I think you then naturally just will have kind of a criteria, just if you're going to find a tool, for example, you want it this price, you want it this easy or intuitive or whatever. You just map that goal to essentially a starting point. Thankfully, we've got quite a few starting points here today. So Claudia's NoCodeOps is kind of the upper echelon of like where you would go if you're kind of progressing your skills. But for what I'm doing, it's for the complete sort of non-techie and complete beginner. So you would start there. But it really is kind of mapping your goals to the communities that you know.
Yeah, can I add, it's really nice because the NoCode global community is such a supportive space. Like me and Max don't actually have an agreement, but whenever people come to my community and, it's gated, even though it's free, I do check, I read all the applications and I really try and understand what the goal is of that individual that's coming into the community. And so if I see that it's somebody who's just looking into getting into the NoCode space, they're not quite sure how they want to develop or what tools to use, I say to them, look, I don't think my community can give you that value that you're looking for right now, but I know a great place, and I send them to Max. And it's like, there's not a written agreement or anything. It's just like naturally we all support each other, and, equally for, better mode, if anyone asks me for a portal or, if anyone asks me about an in-person event, it's great that we all collaborate without having to sort of like say, okay, what do I get in return? Or, what's the partnership? What does it look like? So we're all, I'm a big believer of collective growth in the community space. And so if I'm growing, I don't see why, anyone else shouldn't. So.
Well, I would say that this is a great way to, meet the expectations of the people that are at your community, right? But what, for example, you, Francisco, would be able to do when someone just joining to know what they are expecting and to provide that to them? What are you doing on your side?
I think that probably the best is ask questions. For instance, in the RSVP calls, like, hey, are you looking to learn something specific? Or are you already familiar with certain tools? Or when did you hear from us? Things like that can give you at least a picture of what are the expectations of people. And I would say the main expectation always should be connect.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I would say in the no-code events, you're not coming here to spend half hour learning how to build something with Bubble or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's not about that. It's about get encouraged by the stories of other no-coders, and then take that courage with you to actually on your own time build something, right? Or get a problem solved with any of these tools. But I would say the expectation always should be connect, because that will be lasting. The event is today is, 6 hours together, having fun, laugh. But what lasts? What is the outcome for you? Courage, right? And then maybe a bit of a bigger vision regarding what is available to solve your pain, right? I think that is really the best way to set expectations.
Okay. Well, Claudia, you are right? Like, you did do 2 communities, and I should ask you, like, what do you think you are doing right that maybe others might not be? Like, maybe Max can also learn from me, Francisco, Pierre. So you are the one that has more experience. So tell us.
I'm just a pain in the rear for all my community members, because it's like consistency is key. There is a sort of misconception that starting a community is something easy to do. Or lots of companies just maybe might approach you and say, hey, I need a community, but a community professional would then say to them, what is the goal of the community that you're envisioning for your company? Is it a product community? Is it a support community? What kind of goal are you envisioning for it? And so for me, it's consistency, because I'm in the community every single day, multiple times a day, sometimes in the night. I'm a little bit slightly obsessed. But I'm always there. And, even at the very beginning, if I had 2 people showing up for a hangout, a virtual hangout, that doesn't mean that the week after, I wouldn't do it again. And so being there every single week for your people, showing up, building that trust is really, really important. And also feel like the community members of your community should feel like they have a purpose inside of the space that you're building. And so I really make a point of interacting with them one-on-one and really try to understand what's your goal inside of the community, and let's see how we can make it happen with our own brain. And so just really like being there, being a consistent community manager.
Yeah, she does a great onboard, I have to say. Like, I have been in both communities, so I can add that. Like, but some of you are here for the first time in person in a NoCode event, and no one best to that Pierre to say a little bit of what should you expect or what could you profit from in these types of experience.
Yeah, and I think maybe to add just to the previous question you asked to both Max and Claudia, one thing which is important is for you to understand, like, maybe you'll be more at ease in an online community or in an offline community, kind of know yourself to understand what would be the best point of entry. And what is good right now is that you have offering for both cases. And but I do believe that everyone needs connection, and whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, and it might be you want to start with an online community, and maybe it's hard for you to go back to a community every day, and then look for events where you can go and like meet a lot of people in a specific amount of time. But what is good with events like this is, especially for the people who are here the first time, get advantage of it. I would try to think about like, what is the next challenge you're trying to tackle right now? Are there like one or two specific questions that you may have? And just join different conversations, listen a lot, but every now and then ask like, what advice would you have for, I don't know, you've learned Webflow in the past month. What advice would you have to get your first client with Webflow? And maybe their advice will be like, oh, maybe you should talk to Claudia. She knows a lot of people that does Webflow. And then you go to talk to Claudia and you ask her the same thing. But have those one or two questions that you ask to almost everyone. Make sure you listen to the different conversations and hear the different stories of people that are in the field that you want. But I do feel that any problem that you have, 95 or 99% of problems that you have can be solved with the right conversation with the right person, which is why it's good to put yourself out there and meet people, join conversation in the environment which is made to do that.
Yeah, in the case of the NoCode in-person events, you can also profit from that situation to pitch whatever you are doing to the peer. Hear feedback, improve your own product. Maybe they have seen something similar, they will give you tips. So it's always important to use those moments to also engage with what's happening, right? Like if you are building something, talk about it, get feedback. If you have an idea, see if it's interesting or not. And what would you say, Francisco, that is, like this, for when people join a community, what is it there for them that you help them grow in terms of career or like professionally?
I would say that in each community, there are the different, and there are members at different stages of, you have leaders, maybe midway, and also like kind of the power users or expert. So for instance, in my case, when someone joins the community, what I do is, as Claudia mentioned before, try to connect one-to-one right away. So when someone joins, finds my community, I say, hey, Francisco here, I'm here to help. Whatever you do, hey, just ask away. Also, this is my calendar link for a 15 minutes coffee. Well, I cannot kind of, we get 1,600 members every month. I cannot offer longer, but at least 15 minutes to have a chat. Well, and then once I learn where they are on their journey, I can, someone says, hey, then I do like via DMs, intros, hey, this guy is trying to learn this and that and connect the dots. And also you can help them with the stage that they are. Sometimes, for instance, that people on the midway, they are looking for accountability, but this guy is also in the midway. Maybe you can have a chat to see if you can need accountability to partners. Then sometimes it's looking for learning more. So maybe an expert can be the right person. Sometimes you'll be just like a free connection. Sometimes maybe that person will end up with mentoring as a service or whatever, but it's like their core, right? But you did the connection and you added the value, and that is already there. Like for instance, all this idea of asking for feedback and yes, there is a big advantage in the community. we are not your colleagues in your own company or your job that are kind of jealous if you're going to learn something new to take advantage of or to progress to get the or kind of a race before me. We are not on the same company. We are not your competition. We just want to help. So that's a big advantage, I would say.
Yeah. So the first no-code community I have joined was Max, and I actually remember a lot of stories, and I would really not forgive myself to not hearing one of them, because when you are part of a community, it's not just about helping each other, but it's also seeing the success of others or achieving success yourself. Can you share with us one of these stories, Max?
Yeah, of course. I think you guys will know Kat Rison, and probably some of you will know Kat Rison of Twitter or whatnot. But she basically joined our community 2 years ago. She was very broad in her corporate job, but had a lot of kind of the instinct or the sort of the passion or always wanting to start her own thing. So she joined one of our boot camps. I managed to convince her and said it'd be fine even if you have 2 kids. Just join our boot camp on top of a kind of a full-time job. She did. And then off the back of that, she essentially learned kind of very basic tools, but built a directory that she was then able to sell. And that was kind of her first success story. And then what's interesting about this one, Kat's story, is that now she profiles loads of other people and their success stories. So you should go check out NoCodeOps.com and you'll find loads of other stories like Kat's to see how other people are building with NoCode, having a good outcome. So I don't know if you guys will know the stories.
There are 10,000 people reading Kat. 10,000 people on.
Yeah, really cool, right? It's well. I have 2 more questions. Just you maybe as Max has this online success, and let's hear maybe Pierre say something that happened offline.
Yeah, there's some great stories already, even though it's still the beginning for NoCode drinks. And I guess one advice I would also give is that try to, if you're a little bit more let's say extrovert, try to get involved yourself as a community leader, try to organize events in your local community, and not try to put people on the spot. But a great story I have, the one of Sonia, who is sitting right here. We've met on our online events. It was only the second event from NoCode Drinks, so it was an online event. She's based in Madrid, and at the moment I think she had learned Bubble for a few months, still getting into the world of NoCode. She was an advisor to ask questions to the other people in the event. Maybe it was 8 or 9 of us in the event. Since then, she continued with Bubble, find her first clients. Then when we started to open up the network of organizing events in NoCode Drinks to start this time in Warsaw, she asked me can we do an event in Madrid? So she became the ambassador in Madrid by organizing the fact that we organized the after party of NoCode Day, an event organized by the biggest community in Spain called NoCode Actors. She organized everything. I was there, but she did all the work. Now she's done 3 events in Madrid. She's the Bubble Meetup ambassador for Madrid. She also an ambassador for NoCode Hackers, created her own community of Spanish-speaking bubblers, and also many other things. But basically, she is the main person that people think about when it comes to NoCode events in Madrid. And that's a matter of a few months, a matter of putting herself out there and being proactive and organizing the event. So that's a great story. I like to, and maybe she'll fan check me if you go talk to her. She might be maybe I said some wrong things, and maybe there's even more. And Tom is doing a great job as well. But I had to choose one and others.
She's signing books already.
Yeah. So therefore, Sonia, the success story. The speak with her. That's a great way to get exposure for yourself too, right? To get people to know you, to go after you, to know where, right? To learn things and everything. And to end it, let's end with the queen of engagements. So Claudia is the most engaged person I have seen in the communities, in LinkedIn, everywhere. And I really want you to tell everyone what is that a member gets when they start engaging with us.
Yeah. I think, there's a lot of thoughts around marketing as well, like a lot of companies using communities for marketing. And I find that going back to the collective growth that I was saying, or even the success stories that we were just mentioning, the best marketing that a community or a company could get is from the people. And so our job empowering them and giving them the purpose, as I was saying earlier, they're going to go ahead and do the job for us because they're going to show the success of the community by achieving their goals and sharing the word. And that's the most amazing thing to do because it's organic. You're not asking them for anything, and they're genuinely encouraging other people to join. And so we do put in practice a lot of, there's a lot of offering. There's in-person events. Also, so like if you have something you want to build, you ask Better Mode, you can build it. You want education, you can get that. We have so much going on. I do like live streams, mentorships, in-person events, online events. It's all there, but I often say to people, it's also how much you put into the community is what you get back. Because loads of people, that just can't join a space and present that magically their dreams will come true. They have to put in the work. And when they do, the results are here today. They're speaking loud and clear, and it's the most amazing thing to see. And in terms of engagement, going back to consistency, you have to be there every day, making sure that those initiatives do happen and that everyone feels engaged and connected and empowered to this.
Yeah, so the community is not anything without you all, right? Like we are here as a community and it's great. So thank you for coming, join us today. If you have any questions, be free to go after them. It's great to see you all.